What's up, everyone? Today we have a Honda GCV 190. It's a Ryobi pressure washer. I just got done replacing the pump, so if you want to catch that, definitely watch the previous video. But we are needing to wait for some parts, and I don't know if this ever happens to you, but look over here. See that oil mark? That wasn't there yesterday, but one that was there yesterday, this machine, we're leaking oil. Now, I can say this happens a lot. I don't know why, but for Ryobis. Maybe Honda gave them a deal, I don't know. But this is probably like the 10th one I've had to fix. They could be leaking from anywhere, so you obviously want to take a look. But the first place you're going to want to check is the valve cover. This does not have a gasket. This has silicone, and I don't know if they just had a horrible quality control that year or whatever the case is, but these leak all the time, and you can tell because look at the bolts, and if you look at the bottom it's even worse. So we're gonna go ahead and get that cleaned up. First things first, we need to kind of make this knot level. We want to tip it back a little bit without it having to fall. So usually what I do is I just put like a piece of wood or a block or something. If it's on a mower, which this engine could be potentially, then just lift it up. Whatever you need to do, we need to put this at a slight angle. I've taken the bolts out, 410 millimeters. Now if you can tell, it's not really going to want to come off very easily. Sometimes you can take it off with your hands. This one's not. But like I said, it's silicone. I've also disconnected the plug because, well, you're doing engine work. So what I like to do is to get up underneath it, kind of wiggle it back and forth. There we go. Now we get, I think we're good to go. So now that we wiggled it back and forth, kind of broke the bond, and we get to take it off. There we go. So the reason why we needed to tip it back is if you don't, oil can come rushing out. That's kind of where the oil level is. So by tipping it back, you kind of prevent a lot of that spillage. While we're here, we need to, yeah, look at that. So look at the bottom. Do you see that? See how it's a lot of it's still clean? Then you come over here. See how there's like giant sections that are very, very minimal? I think that's our problem right there. This doesn't happen to normal Hondas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few moments. I'm going to clean up the surface of this cover, bend that back, because I did kind of bend it when I was taking it off with a screwdriver. Then I'm going to take some time to clean that surface, and I'll bring it back. So you're going to have to get your baker's hat out and get some silicone. I use Permatex. Basically, this is all cleaned up. I put a nice healthy bead around the exterior. Wish I would have shown you earlier, but basically there's a indentation. Maybe we can see it on the other side. Yeah, there we go. See that little indentation? You just want to follow that. Anyway, make sure everything is clean on the inside. Outside, don't really care about, but the inside needs to be clean. Now, whatever silicone you use, you need to make sure it's engine safe, oil safe, and it's pretty high quality, because when I was taking it off the cover, I don't think this was the same silicone as Honda uses in general, because it was just very dry. Usually every time I've ever had to take this off Hondas, it's never really dry. It was always just kind of, I don't know, still pliable. Now this is like peeling off shards. It was weird. I even got the glasses out and the drill with the wire brush. Didn't even need it. I cleaned it up a little bit, but I didn't really even need it. That's mainly just because I want to go fast. I still have to clean up the surface a little bit better. Got the big stuff off with the screwdriver. Don't scrape it. Be very gentle. You can use your fingernail. Even whatever, just make sure you don't get anything on the inside, and you make sure it's very clean. I like to spray everything down to get all the oils off of it. That's very important as well. You want a good solid bond. I'm going to let this tack up for about another 10 minutes. Then I'm going to put it on there. According to the directions, I need to wait once I put it on there and hand tighten the screws only. Let it wait for another 20 minutes and then sink them down to the appropriate levels. That takes a long time, so I'm obviously not going to show it, but just imagine that's what you're going to have to do. In the meantime, since we are going to have to wait another 10 minutes, I'm just going to go and check some valve lash. And we might as well, we're already here, and it's a good idea to get it done while we can. I have videos on that, so you don't know what I mean. Watch those, but I will put this on, and then I will put it down on the ground and let it sit, and with any hope we will have nothing leaking by tomorrow. It's been about an hour. I have everything worked down and cleaned up and put together, so technically it says you're not supposed to, but I have ran engines like this and there's no problem. It's oil safe right now, so it should be okay. But for full curing, it says 24 hours. So I'm going to do that. Not going to have it angled up though, because I want to see if it's going to leak again. So I'm going to leave this on the table, except take the block off, have it sit level, and then we'll see if there is any oil or anything forming. I might try cleaning the cover or around the cover just to see if maybe it's a very slow leak, and just because it hasn't gotten to a point of dripping doesn't mean I want it to drip a day or two after I take it or give it back to the owner. So I'm going to clean that up as well to see if any oil residue is there, and then we'll take a look at it tomorrow. And it's the next day. Not a single drop. Under looks pretty dry. A little dirty areas, but it's dry. So we officially have stopped this leak. It's been at least 24 hours, maybe a little bit longer, and there's nothing. Before, there would be a puddle like this one that's underneath that machine. Every day I'd have to clean up. Well, I've had this for like 2 or 3 days, and every day have to clean it up. So with no puddle, I'm considering that a success. If you have a leaking pressure washer, definitely take a look at the valve cover. That's a very common place, especially for these Ryobis. And do the following steps and you should be good. I know Honda does make a sealant, but I just use Permatex. It works just fine. I've never had a problem, and it's a lot easier to get. I can get it anywhere. Local hardware store, mechanic, supply area, wherever you want to go. But I'll leave it at that. Have a good day. Follow me on Instagram at SmallEngine101, and I will see you in the next video. And don't forget to subscribe. Good night.